Navi's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Navi's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Navi's turn to
Monkey King.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got game number 3 coming at you here. It's a 3 series, so final game, Vega Squadron. Navi gonna find out who's on to the playoffs and which team eliminated here. Summit 7 European qualifiers. I'm Breaking CPK, joined by Z-Rock once again.
10 seconds remaining.
This is it, and we get to see a Monkey King coming out from Navi. So
5 seconds
different of a start,
remaining.
actually. Excited for that one here.
Yeah, I really am. Sticking with the TB ban, but they do shift it up. When you lose a game, usually one hero from the last one tends to fall in the first phase bans. It will be Darkseer falling on the axe this time. And Vega going back to the Warlock. Can they change the O2 curse?
That's the plan here. You know, it's as you mentioned, he's 0-2 in the series. I don't know if that's necessarily been the
10
cause
seconds remaining.
losses by any means, but Vega Squadron is
5
gonna
seconds
in priority
remaining.
this time around, though. And I know you're kind of talking about the end there. Perhaps he is a little overhyped amongst
Reserve
teams.
time.
I do agree. However, at the same time, he still is a. I'm not too surprised to see Vega Squadron. About getting that also city. The follow-up to the chaotic offering, I think, is a key as well. Get more single target focus. I mean, that could work out, but really seeing that wombo come.
Reserve time. Navi's turn to pick.
Now, I do want to point out Abaddon has been totally absent from this series. I still think it's a premium offlaner and has been, for the most part, ignored. So with Navi picking up something with a bunch of CC already between the Tree Dance, Primal Spring, Boundless Strike, I'm wondering if we won't see that come out of Navi. It's super strong. You've got some CC and one support already, so you don't necessarily need it from the offlane role. I would personally like to see it come out just for a bit of change of pace.
That's something of interest, but the fact that the hero wasn't even referred to in both of the first 2 games is distressing. It's like, I don't know if he's going to be seen here. Either team is comfortable. He is a very popular one across the board. So it would be a little bit surprising to see just completely left
Radiant
out, but
team
Navi is going to be the
Well, there you go.
offlane choice.
Yeah, I mean, it more than likely will be. Batrider, okay, so teams are kind of figuring out how to use Bat again. They're figuring out that you need a lot of damage on the back end of the lasso. He's not going to win his lane like he did in the Batrider Hell era where he was winning tri-lanes by himself. But he is still an effective offlaner, especially provided that you can get the lasso on the Warlock pre-offering or on the mid laner, something important. You just got to make it so that you have enough damage to kill whoever you lasso. So I'm expecting something fairly high damage coming out of Navi. And what that's going to be,
seconds remaining.
I'm still kind of baffled. I would say Dendy Shadow Fiend is a strong potential here. pairs well with the Monkey King in just setting up zone control so that he's a little bit protected and can maybe get off a good Requiem. A lot of bursts to just try to shotgun down a lasso target, especially in the early game with the Shadow Races being super strong. So definitely look towards that. We usually see it go away in the second phase if something kind of says, hey, they may Shadow Fiend here. The downside to that is it'd be extremely vulnerable to Tusk. Vega, we saw Tusk use super effectively at the start of the first game, but then kind of just got outpaced. Vega picking up the LC though, this was Navi's ban the first 2 games. This is the one they swapped Darkseer out for. So we'll have to see. They kind of got premium picks in the Warlock and the LC here. And now the question is, can they form a coherent team around it?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
So what about the Warlock not winning a game stat?
10 seconds remaining.
Weaver.
And to be fair, Vega 2-0'd with the Warlock in the first series. So they did win with it. It just feels like a caster curse thing for me. I think I've seen one Warlock win out of any game I've casted, and I've casted probably 40, 50 since Kiev.
10 seconds.
But the Phoenix pickup, that is a Phoenix pickup. Without a tree, without really any coverage for the egg to actually keep it safe. You've got Boundless Strike, sure. You're not going to lasso someone to make sure an egg goes off. So this is the other idea. The last time we saw Phoenix picked in one of our games, I remember mentioning this. The idea is you just dive in, you Supernova, and you understand you're going to die. You understand you're not going to get the egg off. But you want to put them in a position where if they kill the egg, then they're sitting on top of Wukong's command, they're sitting on top of Firefly, they're taking so much damage they can't win the fight. And that's going to be the question is, can Na'Vi draft enough zone damage and enough burst that if Phoenix dives in and eggs, can they kill people off the back of it? And Weaver is a very good pickup in both a Phoenix answer, because it can kill the egg very quickly with Geminate, as well as the time-lapse being a nice recovery tool just to say, oh, I got caught, let's fix this. The actual hard CC out of Na'Vi right now is not the longest durations. Boundless Strike only 1.6 seconds. Sure, you have Lasso, but Weaver's going to be going Lincoln's first or second item, and makes it very, very difficult to get a Lasso off on a Weaver before he time-lapses or even just Shikuchis and runs away.
Storm Spirit.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah. I would say Lina is a very strong option. We know they play it. We know it's a very good matchup into Storm pre-6 especially. Like, insanely good matchup pre-6. The only issue is we saw Dendi just pop off in Game 1 on Storm. And all of your lockdown, once Storm hits 11, is too slow. Dendi can actually ult away from any of the skills that are currently on Vega once he has level 2 Ball Lightning. So we'll have to see. Even Blink Duel is actually not that fast. If Dendi has quick enough reaction time, then we'll be in okay shape. Now, I will say this is one of those situations where if this was a LAN environment, I'd be saying Storm is more likely to do exceptionally well. But they are playing from their respective countries on the Luxembourg servers. They're not at 0 ping. And that does pose a bit of an issue if you're trying to react on somebody like Storm.
I have an interesting idea right there on that topic real quick. It's the idea that on online, you could argue you're going to play, maybe your strategy could change a little bit because of said hero.
10 seconds remaining.
That reaction time is that much more.
5 seconds.
Puck,
remaining.
Slardar, and Rubik, probably the 3 biggest heroes that on LAN, go up like an entire tier list. Because when you're playing on 0 ping, Puck is just disgusting. He can dodge so much with phase shift, combo into things a lot better, buffer blinks out of phase, and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Rubik for an instant spell steal is just insane. So yeah, the ping actually is something to think about during drafts, and there's a reason certain picks are picked more often at LAN.
Lycan.
Lycan.
Lycan again. I'm liking the Lycan.
I'm coming around to it.
10 seconds.
It depends on what he does here. So I'm more of a fan of the skip wolves entirely Lycan that we've seen some teams start doing. Yeah, they can be a great scouting tool. They can give you a lot of info. You already have Monkey King for that.
Reserve time.
I would like to see him just go the brawly, max howl, feral impulse to survive the lane. Like, just come out with the ultimate right at 7 or 8 and just try to tear through everything.
Yeah, it's been fun to see that build again. The idea of the howl too, as far as the synergy for the team, is so powerful. And this goes back to, you know, what I do bring up with the Lycan whenever we happen to see him, is where it's not that, again, howl in general on any hero is going to be very useful. It's going to be powerful for the lane phase. It's just going to be a good ability. But do they have a hero that really can benefit from it? With Storm Spirit definitely does a fair amount of
Lena.
So there is that. But, you know, outside of him, I guess Monkey King, you could argue, benefited.
There's the Lena.
There's the Lena.
Yeah. Bring this guy to a panel. He's best draft analyst 2017. Nah, this is a pretty obvious pick. It is so strong into this Na'Vi lineup. It tears through Phoenix Egg with Fiery Soul. It should body Storm Spirit without a ton of help. And if you look at the help, right, it's gonna pretty much be on Monkey King, trying to just beat Lena with his bat. And I don't know if that's gonna stand up to Tusk. Like, Seema put a ton of pressure on the early game. Actually did very, very well in game 1 on the Tusk in the first 5-10 minutes.
10 seconds remaining.
Gonna be it, guys. Game number 3 again, elimination
5
game.
seconds remaining.
Both of these teams here. We'll move on to face CIS team in Empire in the playoff stage. Find out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to kind of give a little background on the way Summit is as a tournament, right? This tournament isn't the biggest prize pool, guys. It's not, but it pulls consistent T1 teams every single time they run it because teams love it. It's a nice way to go chill. You get to go see people. It's a very fun, relaxed atmosphere, and they try to carry that atmosphere through everything they do. There's a reason we're rescheduling our games here, that we're moving our schedule around. They want to make this a relaxing break from the competitive scene for the players while still giving you guys a great tournament. And I'm not endorsed by BTS to say this. I've just watched every summit. I love the environment, the way they're throwing random players on the panel. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely one of my favorite tournaments of the year.
But I do agree with you. It kind of has that unique feel, similar to a Dream League. I feel Dream League's also kind of that more laid-back environment, but yeah, even more so at the summit. It truly is just a casual. Anyone that's watched it before knows it's in the house of theirs, and it's literally lounging on the couch, casters and hanging out. Fun event. You got the invited teams, Virtus Pro, VGJ actually, and Secret announced here. Clutch Gamers out of Southeast Asia actually qualified. First qualifying team, but that's a team, by the way, that's on a tear lately.
Yeah.
Things out of Southeast Asia over there. And what?
But for the most part, like, relatively unknown roster. For the people that follow the SEA scene, you're probably going to flame me.
30 seconds
but
to battle.
As far as what I've seen, yeah, they've just been a bunch of guys that grouped up and, yeah, on a tear.
No, I've been stressing lately that I think Southeast Asia is raising up quickly as far as becoming a very, very good contention of teams. And right here. He's got this ability called Firefly. He's like, I don't care.
I like this ability called Mischief from Monkey King. He's running around as a baby Pudge Courier.
Stupendous.
It's super
Right here,
cute.
he-
What the? Holy bravery! Oh,
it
jeez.
almost felt like troll-like of sorts.
Yeah, well, there's actually a goal to it, right? If he can run over to that creep wave and pull G's attention, he can make G miss the block. And that actually matters a lot in this matchup, in getting Dendi. Yeah, because look at Dendi's block here. It was so good. And now he has hill advantage, so this gets some of the early pain away from Dendi, getting him closer to bottle relatively safely. G doesn't want to let him, though.
Denied.
Missing a creep because of uphill miss. What a shame. I'm not getting into that tangent. I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah, no, we that conversation. Oh, look at the top lane, Monkey King, or so. Pudge Courier up here.
He has Jingu Mastery stacked right now, so he's doing a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, he does get that first. We see Monkey Kings have been interesting to kind of see the different style of builds. More and more evolved here on the scene.
Take what I please.
Get that passive versus out. Great laning presence as far as Asma goes.
Yeah, and that explains why you went a poor man's first on too, just so he can take those hits and try to make the trades. The big nerf to it though is that the lifesteal got nerfed so hard on it, so you can't really just get to 4 and assume you're going to be full health coming out the other end at level 1. And he's not in trouble here, but he's going to take a lot of pressure.
Half-life. Lady Commander switches targets, going after the Phoenix and also farming the jungle creeps in the meantime. Marvel Venom on LC
Now he's
is
in
doing
some
a lot of
trouble.
work. He's in a lot of trouble indeed. Seneko just has to keep on running, maybe get some kind of support, but again, they don't really have crowd control up at this top lane. Phoenix, Monkey, and Lycan. It's just can hit hard, but you at all. Fall back, Monkey King does, and Nelson just feels confident as far as even jungling over here, and he gets the bounty rune. I mean, 2 versus 3 is actually favoring Vega Squadron quite a bit.
This will come in handy.
Again, hold ground, but LC, again, not afraid to run at him. Moment of courage as well, and Phoenix can't do too much. When going back to that idea. Tusk, by the way, he had to port out. He was pretty deep right there. Got found by a couple of heroes, Gas and Bat Rod here, but ported out in time, so main without a first blood here. Okay,
There you
never
go.
mind. Now we have a first blood top lane as Phoenix goes down.
They found a 0 armor Phoenix. I mean, it's just 0 armor and Uv and boots on Legion. Bonds ended up closing it, I believe, but after the dive. But yeah, he just takes so much damage.
Oof. Middle lane, meanwhile, Tusk goes down.
That's huge. That is insanely big because now Dendi is actually in an okay spot. He's actually ahead of this Lina in CS just because of the waves sitting on his high ground like this the whole time. But this was going to get really rough here for him in a level or 2. Now he's pretty comfortable. Needs this bottle though.
King setting up, Primal Spring in. There's a balanced strike. And he's staying close enough. He absolutely can. In fact, Denny gets credit for the kill right there, staying just in range. Here's it. Actually, it's not enough to save. Nor set up the turn kill. Gets up to the trees and is going to sit around for the 4-minute bounty rune. No.
Snowball in on Dendi.
His bottom tower is under attack.
What? No.
He's got shards.
Maybe a Phoenix Slave. Yeah, our Phoenix Slave even going to come through and we'll be done.
Burns, doesn't it?
Yeah, good job holding the shards there, though. He wanted to just get the Uv slow a little bit and wait until Lina got closer, making sure that the LSA was going to connect. Nicely done. I will say Dendi is still one of the few pros to bottle Crow. Like, no one does this anymore.
Why do you think that is?
Well, no one does it because it takes a courier for like a whole minute. The courier, when there's an empty bottle on it, gets slowed to almost no move speed. So it just takes forever. Team needs items. But for him, it's just, I mean, A, it's habit, I think. And B, the team does kind of revolve around him to a certain extent. And so they're fine giving up the courier use for him to try to give him a little better laning phase.
They continue to be pretty aggressive down here at the bottom lane. Obviously, has the assist kill at least up here in 24-3 now CS. But Lycan continues to farm very well as well. 8, 9, and 7 now is going that part of what we've seen build lately, the Howl and the Feral Impulse passing up the pressure him as well at the top lane, but meanwhile down here, Silent is picked off. Warlock as Monkey King and Storm Spirit coming in.
Oh.
Gonna miss right there. Will lead down the tree, but he got off it just in time, so he won't be stunned, but he is still gonna be combo down, and Lena getting credit for the kill there.
I was wondering how that interaction was going to work if you snowballed a Monkey King while he was going up to a tree. So snowball stops in front of the target. It doesn't go through the target, so it doesn't actually knock him off the tree. It'll just break right in front of it, which is kind of unfortunate. I was wondering if that was going to work. But good to know going forward.
I'll see. Taking some good pressure again by the press the attack, keeping him up. He's even going to Shadow Word heal. Double damage bottom lane. Being pinked out, Lena heading over. Attack. She does have her bottle.
And she's gonna not quite get it here. General's too fast.
Third time, in fact, Seema's gonna get caught out now as well. Flame break, pushback even. Snowball into them though, and Weaver's coming over with that swarm applied, so they do get the kill on Tusk. The General has to Firefly over the ledge.
Yeah, the TP out there from Sneko is entirely just respecting the Laguna, realizing Lena's 6, that the burst damage is there. Good choice just to get out. If Lena was say 5 there, I think Navi just sits and fights that out.
Safe with it. Viver, meanwhile, on that Phoenix.
Dire's bottom tower
Here, there, as you saw LC and Warlock running at him, but he's stuck in the tower, so that far. No dual jet on LC.
So Weaver top of the last hit chart, that is fairly expected. I would just want to say Lycan's keeping up incredibly well for the pressure that LC put on early. Only 4 CS down. They are going to make a dive in on him. Shapeshift committed, but Viver in trouble.
Yeah, Viver goes down pretty quickly right there over underestimating even the damage return. However, they will still be able to chase down the LC, so this build displays kind of a bait of sorts. The long run. Favorable trade.
It's a bait, it's Navi favored, but you still gave up a kill to an offlaner in a 1v3. That just never feels good.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Get that kill onto the Phoenix again.
And I'm just wondering at what point this Phoenix is going to do anything. They're not giving him a ton of pull experience, they're not giving him a ton of levels, and it's going to be a long time before Egg comes online. Like, we're probably looking 12-13 minutes.
8 minutes into the game right now, so another rune's going to be spawning. A Monkey King versus Warlock now middle lane, that's a difference. Find themselves leeching some experience while the actual mid heroes are elsewhere. Storm Spirit currently jungling, and Lena, he's smoked up heading towards the top lane again, has that Laguna Blade.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be expecting Dendy to be this close, but Dendy's turn potential is very low without the monkey here.
To this, it's going to be in time though. They do not get the victory. Will they even get the kill? Pycat remaining alive, and how comes out? Not enough to survive, but they will buy the turn kill time. As you mentioned, Denny happened to be nearby. Fortsan gets 1 kill. He's going to go for it now though. Lena though, going to try to take out Phoenix in return. So support, eye for an eye. Yes, Denny will finish the job there. So it ends up being the 1-for-1.
Wow.
Top
Bloody.
lane, bottom lane.
And bot, yeah. Yeah, the Weaver built a ton of early game. A full Aquila, full wand, a raindrop. It's very, very hard to bring this Weaver down.
Time lapse just in case, so.
If he has mana. He's a little low in mana. But... Alright, I like this much better. You give Viver mid lane, get him 6. You need this egg online. Like, Phoenix is so level dependent, and it's been suffer for him in the top lane.
Experience. You've seen this happen in several times. Again, the fact that Warlock's here too, also trying to get level 6 ASAP. This wasn't not to get the upheaval earlier on, by the way. I haven't been paying attention to that in this series necessarily, but again, I've noticed that several series as of late we've seen Warlocks maybe evil, or at least.
Neither of them had it by 7 last game. I didn't take a look as to what point specifically they got it, but yeah. I know last game it went max bonds into max Shadow Word, so. Got 3 points in Shadow Word already. Looking more for the sustain.
Lycan has Mask of Madness.
Almost there. You go the pattern so you don't need to use the courier later. You can just grab it from the side shop.
Gonna make it out of here before get a good jump.
Oh, they want to go. Like, he's trying to find a way into the Phoenix.
Pretty risky though, especially again with standing nearby, level 10. He's ready to react if need be, so not gonna be the case there. Bounty Rune. That runs tough, but I read at level 8, almost level 9 actually. He's got his, in fact, he has his drums finished. Look at the drums.
So the drums are, if you feel like you can do something in lane, you can kind of oppress the game a little bit. So I would expect him to rotate out of this Weaver lane, because his kill potential is almost 0 on it. A rotation into mid here once he grabs his drums could be huge. There's the first chaotic offering in the game.
Offering in response. That's right there as well, blocking down Pycat and the Laguna Blade to finish the job. So the Ice Shard's a Tusk right there, doing a great placement, kind of stutter stepped him. I mean, even though he's so fast, it doesn't matter if he's being blocked in. Chaotic offering, enough damage to get the kill, and they're going to use this. Lock gold and now push that tier 1 middle tower.
Yeah, if they get the T1 and a Lycan off the first Golem, that's incredible. That's everything you could ever hope for out of a Warlock at 11 minutes into the game. Navi's not ready to give this up, though.
Lycan is back up. He wouldn't have shapeshift though for 70 seconds. Here's up to the heat. He doesn't have Pal, however. It's going to pop around for that over the back line with that Wukong's command, but he's still ready. They're just full on retreating right here. Or attempting to do flame break. We'll push back a little bit. Warlock is going to get picked off. As a Sunray coming through as well, trying to kill them up, but now the tool's activated, then take out Storm Spirit. It's a 2 for 1, but killing Storm Spirit is pretty big. General's also going to be low, Fatal Pawns, spreading that damage. Down goes Monkey King, and down goes Bat Rider as well. A 3 for 2 is how to land, and definitely much more important.
Nope, they got another one.
Vega.
Oh, 1. He was at 1.
Wow. Yeah, it's regenerating now, but 1 life.
Has fallen.
5 in there.
Wow.
Middle tower is under attack.
Oh, man.
Try.
Yeah, you gotta try.
Pycat in that fight, and Shapeshift isn't up just yet either. Again, now Pycat being found. Here we go, Seneko though, going to assist. You see the snowball activated though from Tusk, simply trying to help him survive, and also still set up this kill. But the Sigil maybe to slow him down enough. Not gonna happen. He will get eventually get picked up. Hey, he's dealing with this bat ladder. He goes down. The Laguna play not enough either. So Lena gets picked off, and Avi actually almost having a last laugh moment here.
Alright, that's a one-word fight. Howl. Like, jeez. The extra HP gain, that damage, they just chunked everybody in that fight. That was nuts. It's nighttime, 50 bonus damage, 400 bonus health, kept Pycat alive, and allowed him to basically 3-shot the Tusk.
Especially this early on in the game, yeah. Plus 50 damage. Plus the board is insane.
Yeah, it's really nuts on Dendi. As soon as his Bloodstone comes online with Max Howl, Storm needs mana regen to do his stuff, to be Storm Spirit. But if you add damage into it, his ganking power goes up so much. Like, the Lina is definitely solo killable from him as soon as that Bloodstone comes online. You just howl and chunk him. Shapeshift commit a bottom, though.
He has a golem, unless he has TP's coming in, though, not going to be around it. He'll just accept death. The sound going off right now. Bit of a troll at the end, so nice fight.
Oh yeah. That's the Mask of Madness reveal on Lycan. Just picked that up. So this is the point where he's feeling good. He wants to run at you, play super aggressive, going armlet next to. He's in trouble.
He's blocked in, could find Pier onto him, but he's going to be able to fall lightning away, and he also assists for the kill at the last second out of Lino there, as he's flying on through with that vortex. So well played by Dendi.
Yeah, they thought Lina was going to be able to be there. Seneko was sitting in the trees, and the Boundless Strike just made it so the Laguna couldn't come in time. And without that damage, yeah. Nice swing for Navi.
Gets a deny on the tower, and Fat Rider still nearby, but he's going to start right now. Again, has a couple of charges so far, but the Blink Dagger is coming next. 1,400 gold saved up here, so... While at the bottom lane, though, Pycat, he's pushing it in. He does have the Howl ready to go. Again, it is still nighttime.
Who are they rotating in here? G? Yep.
minus. He's going to take some damage here from Lena. Meanwhile, at the top lane, looks like Ditto does go down. Let's keep it on the bottom lane.
He's dead.
She's dead for sure. One more attack. Yes, she is.
Legion kept the port? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he still went in.
I thought they were just going to stand there and oof slow him right away to start that. The duel's still down. Yeah. Huh. Playing a little reserved on the Navi side. A little rarity for them.
To be fair, could have been more ports.
Could have been. Seneko could have gotten up in the trees and looked though. So they are going to bring down the T1 bottom here. We've got Aloha Dance trying to chip away at the top tower here. And he's lassoed.
Backwards now. Phoenix though has that
time lapse into the egg.
Down. It's not
quite.
Good job of pushing on out of there. Good attempt.
Imagine if you could force staff the egg. That'd be so insane.
To move it, yeah. General, they're going him now. Swarm applied. Forward punch, fall over Tusk. Sunray heal is doing a bit right here. It's going to have to save him after winner for the LC in the end.
It did just enough to get Afterlife at duel.
That's true. Hindsight, I probably didn't want it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Money to burn.
For victory for LC. That's the second win already. Bad. Net worth here. 900 net worth. Dandy here leading the charts is the Bloodstone.
It's done as soon as he buys it. Well, he's still got to get the energy booster, I guess. Getting very, very close.
Yeah, he is going to be going to the Basher as soon as possible to get such a strong hero. Command.
You can tell he's feeling good. Like, he just sees G and starts pinging, like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Gotta kill him again. Like, G's had 4 deaths. Yeah, 6 kills. Done very, very well. But just feels like has been getting shut down the last, like, 3-4 minutes. Do they see Snake over here?
Lena nearly ties off the path. The attack on the duel comes out looking at Blade in the face and taking some immediate revenge. It's going to be enough for the kill from LC. That's the third victory now for him. Now Backrider in the background lasso already used on cooldown. Weaver's chasing. Maybe looking to use that time lapse though.
Dendy in.
And he is going in. Well, he wants to kill the Warlock. Yannick offering not back up. We're going to win it anyways, and he is going to be run down. No, press the attack comes out. And now Dendy may be overstepping his boundaries. He gets the kill, but it comes at a cost of the 1-for-1 right there.
That's where he just question marks and says, team? Do you guys not want to come assist there? But yeah, no, that was a ton of sustain between Shadowward and press the attack. Just so hard to bring somebody down on your own. It wasn't nighttime, so Howl wasn't super buffed. And just not quite enough damage.
Blood finished on Lycan though, so now he's got that battle build ready.
Yeah.
Gonna pick some fights here.
They've definitely got a slight edge now until this LC Blade Mail. LC's had a very solid start. Has Blink already. Blade Mail and another 700 gold. There's another duel coming out. Shouldn't get a win off this though.
Don't think he's gonna win though, but yeah, we'll get the kill.
That's where Phoenix really shines. The Fiery Spirits just really shut down duels.
Oh yeah. I guess you could say, I don't want to say it's a counter pick by any means, but
it's a soft counter. Yeah, it's a direct impact to a skill, but it's not a reason to pick it necessarily.
Lena. This was 4 hits on that. Was so much damage to Lincoln. He's gonna howl right here. Chasing with the wolves. Good job sending out the wolves. And Catacomber, they want this turn kill on the Pycat. He just comes out of shape. Just the timing is real. However, the Sun Ray is missing. Will keep him alive. Yeah, the Ice Shards on the rough side. He will be fine, but yeah, chaotic offering committed for that. I mean, it did save Lena, you could argue.
Yeah, and it's not quite enough. It was so close just dropping G there again. I figured Seneko would be there again. He just loves to hunt G. So the race to Bloodstone is won by the Storm Spirit by about 1,000 gold. So he will have that online. Look to this next team fight here for Navi because it's going to be critical. If Dendy can get a couple kills and not die in a super good position, but if he gets locked down by this brand new Blade Mail on LC and gets Laguna, it could be crippling for Navi.
Around with not much life here. No shrine use. It's gets her Bloodstone. So but oh, actually, meanwhile,
There we go.
He's gonna find Afterlife, and there we go. There's +1 charge. Already coming in. Now they're gonna go for Russia. As I said, Lena, she's not really set to fight either, so she's in the area, but.
And Chaotic Offering's down. Elsie's dead. You don't fight this. This is a Lost Ages. Oh man.
Yeah, you don't fight this, you think? Well, Vega Squadron has a different idea. They want to fight this, at least stall this as long as possible. Plan.
Is the Weaver that scary to them?
Just running in. This is what I was worried about, though, for Lena. She decides to stick around the area, and that's neat still. With even full life, though, at that point.
Yeah, Dendy gets in range, too, for another Bloodstone charge. I mean, Vega is holding this Roche pretty well.
Right here, the pulling out of Warlock, so he's gonna end up falling. Supernova won't hit anyone, but again, it zones them out. It does its job in a sense. And see, Afterlife tried to catch General right there.
Well, they're gonna get the duel off this if Navi's not ready to go right back in. This has to be now.
Wow, he just went down again in the back message before today, and Seneko picks him off on the Monkey King. There we go, Rush on his kill, and the Natus is picked up, actually, by the Weaver right there on the Radiant side, but his teammates are dying around him. The Aegis is probably going to use over that. No, he has a time-lapse even, but he is limping away barely, Sakuchi on through, and he will get on out of there. I mean, that was such a huge commitment, but they do steal the Aegis and the kill.
They do. Yep. So 1,000 gold there, and they get the Aegis. And, I mean, all in all, you're pretty happy with that if you're Vega. You were going to give that up for free. The big downside is losing G right after the Bloodstone. Like, look at G's Bloodstone charges.
I don't know if they're so happy, man. Like that, getting the Aegis is nice, but there was so many deaths. 2 deaths on Lena. Everyone else died around them. You mentioned the Bloodstone had 5 charges.
You can almost say, though, that Lena's deaths were unrelated to it. She was going to be farming out that Bloodstone in the jungle, and she was already there. She was finishing that either way. And with how aggressive Seneko was, they went on her before she even looked at the Roche pit. I mean, she was still up on her secret shop. The second one, yeah, was positioned because of the Roche. But that could have gone so much worse. At least Weaver got the Roche kill and got the Aegis. Like, Dendy went in to steal. He was close. He was in the pit when Roche died. If they had gotten the kill on Weaver there and took the Aegis, Navi's up 6,000 gold right now.
Yeah, like, so that's, I guess that's a way to look at it, is that it could have been much worse for Vega, even.
But, alright, I saw one of the casters talking about this in a game I was watching yesterday. There's some stat that when an offlaner is super ahead of another offlaner, the team with the winning offlaner tends to lose.
The offense actually going at it, sure enough. The kill's activated on to Bat right up in the back line. And Midway was using a monkey, but not nearly enough for the kill. The Supernova kills off, and actually LC is the one to fall right there. I don't think he gave up with Victory.
Basher.
He goes down. Down goes Lena. Warlock, and Icy Weaver in the midst of this smooth toss him, man. He just gets locked down. You mentioned that Basher picked up by Monkey King, clearly doing work. Weaver comes back up after the Aegis. He still has a time lapse as well. As Batrider and Phoenix are dead on the other side, but Monkey King, he's hopping around the trees right here. Ice Shards are going to miss, unfortunately. And now Tusk has to lead to his death. Maybe set up a kill on a Monkey King, though. Not going to happen. And now, Blowoff, he has to get the hell on out of here.
Yeah, no detection.
Be fine at least, but another case of like, well, at least the Weaver survives, but...
Yeah, no, that one was just bad. That was rough.
Whoa!
Well...
I think he expected him to be there, I guess.
This is us. Time lapse is up.
Kill, though. Oh, this is definitely worth it. Yeah, the time lapse immediately. He gets the dust off at least.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Or, I think he almost died. But yeah, now he's actually good.
Yeah.
Middle lane, you're the last one going out there. Press the attack on the response, and here comes Tony as well. So Bat Rider this time. He's a one. Played right there. Lincoln is caught. However, he is too deep, I want to say. Tusk, he has a different plan, though. He still goes in. Walrus Punch comes out. And Flycat should still survive that dip this time away from Clevermeal. Dendy. Yeah, this is just getting his place down. He's still looking to go back in. Never going to raise it. He's still 21 charges on that Bloodstone, so not. Or damn it. It's looking a lot like the first game, man.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, really is. I mean, exactly. It's looking like the first game because Dendy has impact. Game 2, he really just didn't have that same pop. And this game he's going off. I mean, that's a 21 charge Bloodstone at 24 minutes. He's huge.
Meanwhile, Lena, she's down to 4. She had to sacrifice herself even. And she's trying to build that Shadow Blade. Again, I guess the China region has definitely been doing this as of late. Lena's, and she's going to follow that here, but back to the Bloodstone, it's a nice stat still, and the potential to add back up, and man, being down to 4 charges 5 minutes in, it's going to be so brutal.
Yeah, this is more of the old use for Bloodstone. You're just using it for mana regen to farm at this point. Like, okay, I've got some sustain. Let's go farm the jungle, get to 2 or 3 more items. It's just, what are they going to have to be for this to matter? Like, BKB helps, but there's still Wukong's command bashing you like crazy. There's still lasso. For Navi. That fresh basher just did so much work.
Meanwhile, Lycan, he gets out of the jungle as they're smoking in. He has a Shadow Blade now himself.
Both teams are smoked.
There we go. Fight to be had. LC,
Oh,
he did
no.
not get the duel off, though. In comes the Wukong's command. Stone in the map completely. Supernova's put down. He stumbles into it, though. Uh-oh, that's not the plan. LC goes down. And Stone has toss. He was just simply trying to help them keep them alive, and then Lena was picked off. Again, Seneko, I feel like Seneko's hunting G this game again.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah, the 2 big traits in game 1 were Dendi getting big, getting a nice early Bloodstone and keeping it, and Seneko actually having impact as well. Game 1 on the tree, he was super effective. The Blink Dagger came out insanely early, and with the Tranquil's Blink, just set up so many kills for Dendi. And this game, even more impact. Just made G's life miserable post, like, 15 minutes.
Chaotic offering is up, but unfortunately, well, he had a kind of a window right there, but no one else really nearby yet. Still resurrection's happening, so not worth committing. And Courier just gets picked off. So there's no wards on there. Biggest deal.
I don't know if you saw the video on Reddit yesterday. Dendi was streaming and, like, went away to go get something in general, sat down at his computer and traded himself one of Dendi's Arcanas. So, maybe Dendi's just rage-feeding couriers because of it. We saw one at the end of last game, too.
Getting him one of his.
Yeah. He gifted it with a dedication that said, like, father in Russian or something.
Well, Storm Spirit now 23 Bloodstone charges. 4 kids picked up. Shiva's coming up next. Dominant game for him once again. I mean, this Weaver still does continue to farm very well. We haven't really talked too much about his build. I mean, the Lincolns, the Dragonlance, it's kind of the go-to. No boost.
The problem with running Carry Weaver is if he's not way ahead, top net worth by a long shot, you start to wonder what it can do. Like, a Weaver's goal would be in this game to go pick off the tree or the Bat Rider, like the squishier heroes, and he's quickly losing the ability to do that. Doesn't have a Deso completed, is going to be picking up on a Maelstrom instead, which is a good damage item, but just doesn't have the impact he needs. He's not going to be able to sit there and man fight the Lycan, ever.
Oh, meanwhile, top lane LC. That Jane's right there. Couldn't even get his duel off or get away at that point. Just dabbing around. Again from Storm Spirit and then Bat Rider assist. Coming into play. Still pushing this top lane. In fact, Lena has to be careful too. Bloodstone charges. Gonna make it 1. Has support coming in now, so we're back and try to actually catch the Weaver. Maybe they still will though. Danny's still chasing. There we go. Time lapse backwards. Gotta go the other direction. He's gonna come up now. Balance recognition stun. They get the Lincoln taken off. He is silenced up and he will go down. 70 seconds he's dead for. He does have a 5-act, but duration here.
Yeah, without the Weaver, you don't want to buy him back. The second you buy him back, you're committing him to not do damage for the majority of this game. And then you're on the back of G, who is going the AC build. I like this a lot. It protects him a little against Lycan while still upping his damage output. But it's just going to take this perfect string of things to make this okay. It's going to take like a 5-man rock into bonds into like a 4 or 5-man overwhelming odds. It's looking very rough, and as Dendi finishes up the Shivas, it's going to get even harder.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Maybe if their courier wasn't dead.
True. Anyway, so Fury does come back up, though. Take more resources away from the other side. LC, excuse me, actually, Lycan actually almost has that Silver Edge now.
Yeah, he does. That's gonna be really nice, especially against the LC. And just if he gets dueled while he's Silver Edge, you disable the Moment of Courage. Takes a lot of the pressure off. I'm curious to see if Dendi can break the modern record for Bloodstone charges. I think is 31, and he's closing in on that rapidly. I think that was Ana with OG at Kiev.
I feel like it has to be more than that.
Well, it didn't used to start with 12. And yeah, I mean, I imagine there are some.
I guess it depends on what tier of competitive games you're referring to.
True. I mean, I'm sure there's been some like tier 3 games where someone's hit like 80 charges, but yeah, one death just cuts him out so much. Takes a near perfect game. Now look at this stuff. They're trying to sneak in Aegis.
Then he goes in. Now he gets hit by the Chaotic Offering immediately. However, Tusk is found. Blasting on up. The Tusk is going to put down. Tusk is going to first pick him up. He goes down. The Aegis is picked up by Dendi. He gets killed afterlife as well. And now Lina just trying to keep her distance here as she gets one kill, but she is trying to run. That's not going to work against a Lycan in that shapeshift, however. Guess what? We've seen this before. We were the only one alive. Now he does get the Aegis used on the Dendi right there, but he's coming back up very quickly. Time lapse is ready to use and not even coming to play as he gets on out of there. So Aegis at least good first right out with that. But yeah, the Vega Squadron, they do have to take risks, though.
And they had the rush pretty low. I mean, Dendi with a good job of just hard initiating into it and forcing Vega entirely off the rush. They knew if they finished the 1000 HP Roshan, fight was already over. So well executed there. Even though Na'Vi has a big enough lead, they could run their faces into Vega. Still good to see the aggression.
Courier. That was a plate mail for Silent Act. Just got destroyed.
Yeah, he's trying to go Lotus. But, I mean, that wasn't a bad rock bonds either. That wasn't a terrible initiation from Vega. It's just they're totally lacking the damage. There's 2 Bloodstone charges on Lina. And pretty much just Shadow Blade Bloodstone at this point. That's not enough. Ooh, Aloha in trouble.
Here he tries to TP out. He's dead for 75 plus seconds. And he does not have a buyback this time. King ends up finding him. Follows suit. There gets the kill. Could be a death ball push now from Na'Vi. And make their way to the middle lane, and looks like that's what they're going to choose to push out here. No, he doesn't have a buyback 100% or not. At least going to try to force it, but as we see, he's dead for 55 more seconds here. Quite the window. This should at least be the middle racks. I can't see them defending. No Chaotic Offering for 30 seconds. Yeah, you almost just... Very careful.
If you give it up, though, what's your win condition? What do you try to go for? When do you hold?
They're not even going to destroy Na'Vi. It's just we're going to take the fight to you deep in the face, but it might not matter in the end. Warlock does go down. LC just simply on the run. He has the duel leaving. Can't even get it off. Lina's dead. She fights back immediately. But yeah, I mean, they did not have a choice. No, he just basically made the decision for that.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing out of... Oh, wow, Dendi finally down. The Bloodstone cut down.
Only 21.
He's going to go for the yellow jump here, isn't he? Come on, Dendi. Give me like the half map jump in.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Walking back. They get the racks.
You know you want to. You know you want to turn this.
They chase this. They got to be really careful.
Yeah. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this Na'Vi roster. There's glimmers of hope here. They have multiple star playmakers on this. Pycat was doing a lot of work on the Lycan. Dendi is trying to make plays himself and doing it very well. Generally, it will get aggressive when he feels like he can. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It's just I'm hoping they can piece it all together into something coherent. Against more, not to say that Vega's not a premium team, but international competition. We all want to see some sort of a rise of Na'Vi again. I mean, it's just a legacy. We want to see the dynasty back.
I've always been a fan of Dendi. Caster of sorts recently, but it's been a while since I've done it. And it's just, Denny's just a lovable guy.
Oh yeah.
That's him alone, and it would be fun to see, I agree. It's obviously been a tough challenge here against Vega Squadron overall, but yeah, they're in a very good spot to move on to playoffs here in this game 3, and doing more at the top lane. Tusk,
Yeah.
he gets bound, so yeah, they're really just being desperate here, Vega, and they're gonna go as 4 actually, split up.
I still remember it was probably 2 years ago at TI. They did these autograph card things where you got an in-game autograph if a player handed you one of the cards and could tie it to an item. And Dendy was goofing off, handing them out when he could. And Ice did not ever go do it and just like refused to. Oh, we got an issue.
Top lane up here, Lackey gonna be locked down by the duel, but duel is won by Lackey.
Right. This is over.
Damn easily. Yeah, this is 100% over, and just throwing the towel in.
So anyway, the very last day of TI, Dendy's like, quit being a pain in the ass, and like grabbed his whole stack of cards, Ice's whole stack, and drug him outside. And they gave him out for like 3 hours, just goofing off, talking to whoever wanted to come up to him. I mean, really, just a super nice guy too. And it's always fun to see those kind of people.
GG, well played. It will be a big goal. And Navi, the team, going to be moving on. Deservingly so. Again, it wasn't quite of a series. Definitely not a freaking victory by any means. Congratulations to Navi, however.
So we got a CIS semi coming up here. Back-to-back CIS games.